Here and welcome to the Good Gut Show. It's Wednesday, and I'm talking today about to take or not to take probiotic pills. I know it's kind of a little bit of digressing from my fermented foods all week thing, but really, people take probiotics so that they can get the things that are in the fermented foods. All right. We have natural bacteria in fermented foods and actually a lot of natural bacteria in probiotics. And there are some pros and cons about it. And I'm going to share that with you. Oh, and by the way, I totally forgot. It's sitting here. See this cute little thing? It looks like a paperweight. You could use it as a paperweight, but actually what it is if you saw my show about fermented veggies yesterday and went to the recipe, which is www.healyourhealthnow.com/fermented veggies, all one word. I explained how to make fermented veggies, and I left out a very important thing. So I'm going to share that with you right now. This is a weight for the veggies. So that the veggies can be under the brine, you want to put a weight on them. And this is the weight, or, this is one of the weights. This is just got this on Amazon. And, it's just, there's many different kinds of weights. But I like this because it did weigh the veggies down and under the brine. So anyway, just an FYI. Yes, this is my gift to you. It's cute, huh? Anyway, moving on to probiotics. So I've used probiotics for years, and it's really good when you're giving people treatments for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, after you do the initial killing, the overgrowth, or it's great for balancing guts. But there's really some problems with it, and let me kind of share it with you. So it's really probiotic pills or probiotic supplements are really good. A lot of them to contain diarrhea. I used to use Saccharomyces boulardii when I worked in the cancer clinic for diarrhea, because a lot of people who have who are undergoing treatment have diarrhea, and it's just great for that. Saccharomyces boulardii, which is actually probiotic yeast, and also Lactobacillus rhamnosus is another one for diarrhea, and it actually has been researched. So there is some really good researched things about these particular strains, right? And they've been well researched. Also, Lactobacillus acidophilus and the bifidum bacterias, those have been pretty well researched about really helping the gut. Especially when you have diarrhea. But okay, I do recommend probiotic supplements while people are taking antibiotics. But it's very interesting to me, when I was researching this, I found out something that was very interesting. A study published in the journal Cell examined whether giving probiotics after a course of antibiotics helps to reconstitute the gut microbiome. And the microbiome, is this stuff in your gut, the bacteria in your gut. Actually, the microbiome is all through your body, but we're looking at the gut more than anything else. And basically, the study said that it took months for the microbiome to return to healthy after somebody took probiotics, after they took antibiotics. Well, I usually give probiotics while people are taking antibiotics, not at the same time, because you don't want to do that. You want to do it, you want to put at least an hour or 2 hours between. But it is true. If you take antibiotics, it may take up to 6 months to repopulate the gut. The interesting thing was that fecal transplants, which are very controversial, and they still don't know what to do, really, you take stuff from your butt and then retransplant it. I don't know any doctor who does that right now, but it's very interesting that it returned, the microbiome took only days to return to normal. So obviously the fecal transplants have to be researched, but that was very interesting that they did a study like that. Here's a problem with probiotics. First of all, you really need somebody to give you advice about which to take. I love the fact there's a supplement that doctors actually prescribe called Fluorostor, which is Saccharomyces boulardii. So regular Saccharomyces boulardii is cheaper, but this is a prescribed thing. So doctors will prescribe that. So I recommend it when people have diarrhea. And a lot of times the doctors will recommend some other supplement. No. You really have to make sure that you're using the right strains of probiotics when you're taking pills, number one, because they're for different things. Number two, really, when you're dealing with fermented foods like we did yesterday, there is a lot of bacteria that's produced when you ferment foods. A lot of different kinds, and really diversity is very important in the microbiome. Diversity is very important. And, you're just taking one or maybe two strains of probiotic. It's not going to help. The other problem is that there are only certain strains, like the ones I discussed, that can pass all the way down through the stomach with all that hydrochloric acid and into the small intestine where they are useful, right? Or then into the large intestine. Not every probiotic pill can do that. There are actually a lot of different kind of supplements that can be denatured when they go down the digestive tract and they never really get to where they're supposed to get. So they're great. They're great for those who need to repopulate the gut. If you don't do antibiotics, I don't do antibiotics. I try and avoid them at all costs. You really want to use fermented foods or some kind of fermented thing. A yogurt is great. We're going to do yogurt. I just ordered the yogurt cultures. Next week we'll do yogurt. But you really, really want to stick to foods that have probiotic properties rather than taking probiotic pills. I do recommend them for diarrhea, certain strains. I do recommend them when people are taking antibiotics, even though the studies showed that it took a long time for the gut to return to its normal state. Okay. Also, you don't want to just go use them, right? Even if it's a diverse strain or a diverse probiotic, you don't want to go use them because an accumulation of bacteria is just as bad. In other words, you're making your own candida overgrowth or small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, SIBO. I mean, it can cause brain fog. It can cause bloating and abdominal pain. You do not want to, we're looking at balance here and not just throwing them in your gut, right? Okay. Also, I was looking at a study published in Clinical and Translational Gastroenterology, say that fast 5 times. Probiotics can quickly ferment sugars that pass through the gut, which can cause a buildup in hydrogen gas and methane, creating significant bloating, as well as lactic acid, which can interfere with your brain. So you don't want to use too much, and you really want to make sure that if you're using probiotics, that somebody who knows what they're doing recommends them for you, because this is not something we need to do like willy-nilly kind of stuff. and also people who are immunocompromised have food intolerances, which is most of the people I work with, especially gluten, which is most of the people in the United States and beyond, really have trouble with probiotics. So you want to be careful. All right. Also, the other thing is, if you have an overgrowth of bacteria, fructooligosaccharides are usually in probiotic pills. Fructooligosaccharides are prebiotics, or the things that feed the probiotics, all right? If you have an overgrowth and you take probiotic, you're going to end up having more pain and more discomfort than you would have if you didn't take them. So you want to be very, very, very careful. Okay. I like to, give people foods rich in prebiotics, or recommend them, like onions, garlic, asparagus. Don't we love all those? Bananas. Yes, I have bananas all over my house here. And I just ordered green banana flour to see how that'll play out. Stay tuned for recipes. We'll see how it goes, because green banana flour can provide resistant starch that promotes the growth of butyrate in your gut, which is really the lining of the gut. So this is really a complicated thing. There's a lot of things going on in your gut. You do not want to mess with your gut. Just taking probiotics won't do it. You have to be really, really, really careful, right? And I said different strains are for different things. So how do I feel about probiotics? I don't recommend them a lot. I really don't. I recommend fermented foods. A little goes a long way. Remember, a fork or a spoonful a day keeps disease away. And Dietitian Jill, we're going to do the coconut yogurt tomorrow because it's like bubbling. I will send a picture. I couldn't do it on here because I'd have to tilt it. I'd spill it. My grains would be very unhappy. We'll do coconut yogurt tomorrow. Okay. So tune in. All right. Dietitian Jill signing off. Have a lovely evening.